Today on the channel, the year-end countdowns continue as we got a big one today. It's the top 10 AEW figures of 2021. Welcome everyone, Kyle here, and welcome back to the channel for another top 10 countdown. The year-end awards are here as we're going through and we're knocking out top 10 lists of all the lines I collect and you collect as well. Everything that we review on the channel is up for fair game, and we're counting them down from number 10 all the way to number 1 being my favorite. And today on the channel, we've got a special one. You guys know I love my wrestling figures. We have the top 10 AEW Jazzwares figures as voted by me in 2021. And of course, I always ask you guys, put your list in the comments down below. This is my list. I want to hear what your list is and put them in order. That's the fun part of this. So put them in order down below. Jazzwares coming on strong in 2021. They came out in 2020 with some issues, some things. There's still some issues and things, but as Match Series 2, which just recently came out, the game is changing. Quality seems to be getting better. Some of the different characters seems to be an improvement there. So I got to think, out of all the toy lines we've been talking about, 2022 very well could be the year of AEW Jazzwares. They are ready to explode. I got to think we're going to get all kinds of new people in the sets. That's been one of the gripes. Hopefully some of the quality concerns are being fixed. It's going to be a very, very interesting year of 2022 for the Jazzwares team. But without further ado, let's get after it. Let's start it off at number 10. All right, we start off the top 10 AEW Jazzwares figures of 2021 with the one that I thought, how could they ever top this? This is such a fabulous figure. And it landed at number 10. That tells you how some of these figures really, as one might say, stole my heart and never let go. But coming in at number 10, we go to Ringside Collectibles. And of course, when you go to Ringside Collectibles, you use discount code Kyle to save 10%. But that's what I did, and that's where I picked this up. And as you guys know, I was mint on card completionist through Series 5. Then I jumped off. I'm going to keep 5 on card, but I'm going to go 100% loose. And I'm going to get on card for the Ringside Collectible exclusives. And that's what I did here. And at number 10, we've got Cody Rhodes, TNT Champion. Very fitting if you watched Rampage a couple days ago, as he did win the TNT TV title once again. So it's what is old is new again, I guess you'd say. But a fabulous package here. Just beautiful with the artwork, the packaging, everything else. And of course, we got the loose version right here. I do love this figure because I love the purple and silver. How well purple and silver go together. The TV title was a very, very cool add-in accessory, soft goods, and then a fabulous Cody, a good head sculpt on Cody. Not Cody's best head sculpt, but much improved over Series 1 in my opinion. Just the entire package here is just beautiful and definitely deserved a spot on my top 10 list. I'm just shocked that it ended up at number 10, but a lot of things came at the end of the year that really changed the list up. You know, if Unmatched Series 2 would have came a couple weeks later, this whole top 10 list would have been totally different. But it came, so we had to do it, and that's where we sit right now. We're going at number 10 with the Ringside Collectibles Cody Rhodes exclusive. All right, we're at number 9, and we touched on number 9 in 10 a little bit. If Unmatched Series 2 would not have arrived at the very tail end of 2021, this list would have been totally different. But it did, so we had to count it in 2021. And number 9 comes from AEW Unmatched Series 2. Who is it? Well, it's the lone female representative on this countdown. It is Ty Conti. AEW superstar, former NXT superstar. I did get to see her in one of her first NXT matches back in the day. And she's here in figure form finally. And this is quite the form of this figure. This is the first time that I can think of off the top of my head where they have got the assets correct on this one. So they gave her the butt. At the end of the day, we go back to the backside. They gave her the way many female wrestlers wear their trunks these days, this way, and they put it in figure form where most others, Mattel and even AEW before, have covered that up. Hey, this is what they're doing. This is the way people are wearing their gear now. It's time to represent it, and that's what Jazzwares did. They stepped in and they did that. We're going to see it again with AEW Anna Jay in the Unmatched Series 3. So it's just interesting. It's changing times, changing gear times, and it's time for the toy manufacturers to catch up to speed, and that's what they did here. And this tie Fabulous with the black and the green coloring, the Brazilian coloring on her. And then you get the 2 extra heads. The heads maybe aren't 100% the best heads, but they're good enough. You know who it is. You take the head off, like I always say. I'm going to be able to tell you who it is. This one, she's got kind of that diner haircut, like she served a sassy waitress in a 70s or 80s sitcom. But I'm here for it. I like it, and I think this is, at the end of the day, the best female figure of 2021 from where I sit, which, as you guys know, is right here. And that's where Conti comes in at number 9 on my AEW countdown. All right, we're at the number 8 spot on our top 10 AEW figures of 2021, and number 8 is no stranger to the AEW line. Heck, no stranger to this countdown, as he was number 10, and he's also coming in at number 8. Who am I talking about? Cody Rhodes, the new TV champion, TNT TV champion, I should say. And this one comes from AEW Unrivaled Series 4. And out of all the Cody Rhodes figures we've got, as you guys remember, we got a ton of Mattel between Elites and Basics of Cody Rhodes. We've gotten a lot in the AEW line so far. I'm sure there's going to be a lot more to come. Out of all the figures we've got from Cody Rhodes, this could quite possibly be my favorite. This is very solid with the best head scan of Cody Rhodes to date. I think this looks like him just shrunk into plastic form. Fabulous, fabulous head sculpt. This head sculpt carries this figure. And he did get 2 head sculpts in that set of Series 4. And I guess you choose your own head venture, which one you want, but I'm putting this one on all day long. Soft, good shirt. Always good on my end. I love a good soft, good shirt. And then the green and black attack gear. Fabulous, fabulous figure. I know Cody Rhodes isn't for everybody. I wouldn't even say he's for me, but a good figure is a good figure from where I sit, and I like this Cody Rhodes, and the head scan took this one all the way up to number 8 in my top 10 countdown. All right, we're at the number 7 spot, and number 7 spot figure was in last year as well, as this guy has been in 2 best of series in 2020 and now 2021. A favorite of mine, a favorite type of performer of mine, of course. And at number 7, who are we talking about? We're talking about AEW Unrivaled Series 6, and we're talking about old Penta. Yes, Penta in the gold and black gear. Now, I still do prefer last year's Penta, the black and white, just more scary, more maniacal look, but this is fabulous. What's it got? It's got face paint. He's got a mask. He's got tattoos. He's got a beautiful outfit going on. This is what I want in action figure form. This is what I want out of my wrestlers. And of course, Penta, a favorite of mine. I remember seeing him on indie shows back in the day with his brother Ray Phoenix as well. But this Penta is absolutely fabulous. A lot of detail, a lot of colorful tattoos, the mask, of course. Just toyetic to the 10th degree. You can see kids that don't really know about wrestling would pick this up just based on looks over just a plain Jane looking wrestler. That's just the way kids are. Fabulous, toyetic. Love it. That is why he comes in at number 7 on my top 10 figures of 2021. All right, we're at the number 6 spot in my top 10 AEW Jazzwares figures of 2021, and number 6 comes from AEW Unmatched Series 2. Once again, if this set came just a couple of weeks later, he wouldn't have been on my list. We would have had different figures in there. It's amazing how big of a game changer AEW Unmatched Series 2 was. I hope that carries us off into 2022 with equally as impressive of lineups. But number 6 for me today from AEW Unmatched Series 2, we're taking a look at Wardlow. We don't get a lot of big figures, big wrestlers in the AEW line, as you guys are probably fully aware. I mean, you get the Brian Cages, hopefully, the Hobbs, hopefully. We got Wardlow, we've got Luchasaurus, but there's not a lot of big guys for them to make, and that is unfortunate. I hope we do get more guys come to AEW that are a little bit bigger, because I've always liked my wrestlers larger than life. There's nothing against littler guys. It's fine, but I want big, hulking guys, and maybe it's just the era I grew up in. But Wardlow, he fits that, and I think Wardlow is going to have a breakout 2022, being one of the only big guys on the roster. You can already see him and MJF are going to have probably a pretty big feud sometime in 2022. We'll see what happens. But this figure, absolutely fantastic. It shows that the Jazzwares team can make a bigger character and do it well. The head sculpts on this, absolutely fabulous. I love this mean mugging face. I love that he came with 2 fists. I've been challenging Jazzwares to give us fists with all the characters. And starting with AEW Unmatched Series 2, they've done a very good job. I hope that does continue. The joints have gotten tighter. I just am here for this Wardlow figure. This is what I want. I hope we get a suited version one of these days as well. And I got to assume we'll get more Wardlow figures in the future. Hopefully not too distant future. Let's wait a few sets. Let's get some more new first-timers out there. But this Wardlow, very, very cool. Awesome figure. That's why he comes in at number 6 on my top 10 year-end list. Number 5, we got one of the stars of the AEW figure line so far. This guy deserves a medal for what he is doing in figure form. And once again, we're going to AEW Unmatched Series 2. Can you just imagine what this list would have been like without AEW Unmatched Series 2? As there were so many heavy hitters, and we've already seen them represented, and we're going to see another one here at number 5. Who am I talking about? I'm talking about Ortiz. AEW Unmatched Series 2 Ortiz. What a toyetic individual. Bright color overalls and stuff, just looks great. And that's fine. That's good, one thing. Then you get colorful tattoos in there. That brings you up another notch as well. But what Ortiz does, when he is being scanned for these head scans, face scans, he makes the craziest, zaniest faces. And that is just key to him. Because nothing against Santana. Santana's had some great figures. But Santana isn't as toyetic, and you see Ortiz being picked up more than Santana. You see Ortiz on lists more than Santana, but because that is Ortiz is bringing the facial expressions, really taking it to the next level, and you got to use everything you can to get over and be noticed, and I feel like Ortiz is doing that every time he gets a figure scanned. Kudos to him. He is a sleeper action figure and one of the best once again this year. Just some fabulous figures from him. I'm looking forward. He's a character that I wouldn't say is in my top favorite wrestlers of all time, or even that I was on my radar, but through his figures have made me notice his work more, and I have to assume other people are the same way, and I think other people will be picking up his figures as well as they go in, and now I'm eagerly anticipating how is he going to top the looks in his next figure. So very cool. I have to think we're going to get the face painted version of the Dead Presidents, Santana and Ortiz eventually. I'm here for that too. As you guys know, I'm a sucker for face paint, but man, this Ortiz, just between the hands, the tattoos, the coloring, the orange and the black attack, and then the crazy head sculpts, no doubt this was going to be on my list, and that's why he comes in at number 5. All right, we're down to the final 4, and number 4 comes from Unmatched Series 1 from AEW. As we all know, there's AEW Unrivaled, there's AEW's Unmatched, then you got, of course, a bunch of Amazon ringside exclusives and everything else under the sun, it seems. But AEW Unmatched came to us in 2021, and one of the crown jewel figures in that line, it came in at number 4 here on my top 10 list. And who am I talking about? Well, I'm talking about Darby Allin. Yes, Darby Allin. Cure listening Darby Allin. I just imagine him rocking some Cure in his car. Just not a big fan of the music choices, but I'm a fan of the look. I love it. I'm an old school skateboarder back in the day before helmets and knee pads and all that stuff was a thing. I love the face paint dynamic. Of course, you know I do. I'm a sucker for face paint. But they just shrunk this Darby Allin down. It feels like the man himself has been put into figure form. Even giving him the kind of Doc Martin boots going on. A little skinny, smaller guy than I usually gravitate towards, and I wouldn't say he's near my favorite wrestlers, but of course he's perked my interest being aligned with Sting, as weird as it seems. I don't really understand the connection between these two, but who knows about that one. But Sting is a very interesting character to somebody like me, so it's going to make me pay more attention to Darby Allin, and I think that is maybe what the end goal was there. So bravo, AEW team, you got that to work. But fabulous with a skateboard, as always, with Darby Allin. That's always cool. Face paint's cool. Nice jacket. I wish it was a little bit more mobile. You can move his arms a little bit more, but it is what it is. Then skinny, nice legs. I mean, it truly is Darby Allin shrunken down in size, and a very, very strong one, a very popular one. As you guys do know, I found the Chase out of retail. My first Chase in all the years of collecting. As I go way back to the Jack's Ruthless Aggression Chase figures, I never found one of those in the stores. Never found an AEW figure in the stores until one faithful business trip to the state of Kansas. Kyle found a Darby Allin just chilling on the pegs on like a Wednesday afternoon. Very strange time, but I'm here for it. Hopefully I find more Chases and rare editions in 2022. And the only way you'll find out about that is if you subscribe to the channel and you follow along. So make sure you do all that. But at number 4 for me, we got Darby Allin. All right, we're down to the final 3. Have you got your list together? Are you putting your top 10 list? Put them in order. That's always the challenge. That's what I always ask in these videos. But make sure you put your list down in the comments. So the final 3 kicks off, and we go to AEW Unrivaled Series 3. Now, this one was truly a game-changer figure. Who is it? Well, it's one of the most popular AEW superstars. It's Orange Cassidy, and I got on the Orange Cassidy bandwagon maybe a year before AEW started. My oldest daughter really did enjoy watching wrestling for quite a few years. Unfortunately, like a lot of kids do, and especially female girls, it seems, kind of bow out of wrestling. I mean, she knows some of the people, but she's pretty much all out of wrestling. It's a sad state for old Dad Kyle, but yeah, you live, you learn, you move on, and you go back to watching it by yourself. That's just the way it goes. But she really did fall in love with Orange Cassidy back on some of the independent shows we used to get on Fight TV, stuff like that. So there was a lot of good times with Orange Cassidy. She still likes him and always laughs when she sees him. So, but toyetic to the 10th degree on this one. I love the denim. I wish we could get a Bret Hart in this look. Hopefully Mattel does that in 2022. But this is truly a game changer figure, as it gives us some new technology we haven't had before. As we got pants that are plastic but mobile, kind of movable plastic, where you can put his hands in his front pant pocket. I think that is one of the most inventive things we've seen from wrestling companies in the last few years. It's something that's so simple and it seems so easy to do that's never been done, but here it is. You can give him all kinds of different poses. You got the removable glasses, which is nice. It'll be interesting. We know we have another version coming out very soon. I'm here for that as well. But just a fabulous, fabulous figure. I gotta say, AEW Series 3, though, hit my stores hard and for a long time. These were very, very readily available in my area, which was different with Series 3, as 1 and 2 were very hard to find. 3 was the easiest set, I think, to this day, at least for Unrivaled. For me, Unmatched Series 1, very easy to get in my area as well. So it's interesting how some of these sets, and we see it with Mattel with some of their Elite sets, or some are easier to get than others. Like Elite 85 is everywhere, and then you get Elite 88 in my area at least, or 87 wasn't really anywhere at all. So it's always funny the dynamics with some of those. But back to Orange Cassidy, absolutely love the all denim look. Love the shirt of a shirt with him on it, which is funny. Removable glasses is great. And then we talked about the pants. Just absolutely fabulous. Once again, Orange Cassidy shrunken down into figure form. I am here for it all day long. And that is why he's coming in at number 3 on my top 10 AEW Jazzwares figures of 2021. All right, we're at the home stretch. The top AEW figures of 2021. We're at the final 2, and coming in at number 2 is another one of those ones that if it didn't just hit at the tail end of the year, wouldn't have been on the list, and this list would have been a heck of a lot different. And who am I talking about? Well, I'm talking about AEW Unmatched Series 2. It's Sting! Yes, Sting, a childhood favorite of young Kyle, as you guys know, Surfer Sting, but I've respected Sting throughout all things. One of the greatest things he ever did was said, I'm going to form a tag team with that Ultimate Warrior. Ever since then, he was good brother to me, good brother number 1, and I found that out many years after I knew who Sting actually was, but let's not rewrite history here. But I love this Sting. This Sting figure blew me away. That being said, this Sting figure, if it didn't have the jacket with it, it wouldn't be as high on my list. This jacket really does help hide some of this, as I do feel without the jacket on, it does look a little bit strange. Partially is because that's what Sting wears. He wears his outfit and then he wears a t-shirt over, which makes, you know, the scorpions on the side of him kind of blocked off. But they did represent that in figure form, as they should. But it's just kind of a weird look, but I get it. Sting's an older guy. He's in his 60s. It makes sense for him to wear a shirt and stuff if his body isn't up to par, which, hey, if you're 60, that's going to be pretty tough to keep up. But man, the head sculpt on this, it does feel like Crow Sting without it being old school Crow Sting. It's a modern representation of Sting, but we're all here for Sting still. He just wrestled with CM Punk and Darby Allin. It was funny when I unboxed these figures a couple weeks ago, I said, I wish some younger wrestlers would dress up in face paint as like an homage to Sting and do it. And then, like clockwork, a week later, here they are doing it on AEW. You guys stealing all my best bits. Come on, what are you guys doing? But I was here for that. I got to assume we're going to get a 3-pack of those guys in 2022 in their Sting gear. And we'll get Sting in his CM Punk face paint. It'll be interesting. But this Sting is great. The baseball bat accessory, better than Mattel's baseball bat from where I sit, as you guys know right here. A little bit weird with the body, but I do love the stronger elbow joints on this one. But really the jacket, the baseball bat, and the head take this to the next level. And just a beautiful representation of Sting, his first AEW Jazzwares figures. Gotta think we're going to get a long line of them. I think we'll get an LJN throwback. We know we got a Walmart exclusive coming up with the Darby Allin face paint. I think we'll get an old school Stinger in the Luminaries. We'll probably get maybe a traditional Crow Sting in the Luminaries. There's going to be a lot of Stings to come, and I'm sure we'll get 2 or 3 more in 2022 at minimum. So hopefully you guys like Sting like me, because we're going to have to buckle up for a lot more Sting figures. But as of right now, our first Sting figure we've gotten from the AEW team, he's coming in at number 2. All right, the big one is here. It's time to reveal my number one AEW figure of 2021. But first, I'm going to ask you guys once again, make sure you put your list in the comments down below. Number 10 to number 1, number 1 being your favorite. Always fun to put them in order, and that's the hard part, but that's part of the fun. So make sure you put your list in the order 10 to 1 in the comments down below. And then while you're here, make sure you subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell. As you guys know, we unboxed every single one of these AEW figures on the channel. We're going to unbox all the AEW figures in 2022 on top of every other wrestling figure and a whole other lines as well. And I'd love to have you join along for the fun in 2022. So make sure you subscribe and hit the notification bell. Follow me on social media, SirPaul64 on Twitter, Instagram, _Kyle_Peterson, and ProWrestlingTees.com. Support the channel. Pick up a t-shirt. Be the most fashionable guy or gal in your neighborhood. Now, number 1 to me, no question, number 1. I always put these lists together. I lay them out 10 to 1, move them around, say, okay, here's where I'm at. This one started at number 1 and stayed at number 1. Once I first got this in hand, I knew there was probably no topping this because Kyle, he's a sucker for many things. Most of all, a good action figure. But you throw face paint, you throw tattoos, hairy bipedal creatures, masks. This one's checking all the boxes, and I think you guys all know where this is. We're going AEW Unrivaled Series 5, Luchasaurus. Yes, Luchasaurus, the top spot this year. A fabulous figure. Beautiful gear, beautiful coloring of the gear, beautiful tattoos, big character, face paint, mask, a dinosaur. Come on, this is me all day long. If little Kyle was still little Kyle, this very well could be his favorite wrestler of all time, would be Luchasaurus. Warrior Mania runs wild in my life right now, but if I was a little younger, it might be Luchasaurus Mania. Just toyetic as toyetic gets in the AEW roster. Big figure, which I absolutely love. Just so much for me to like. I was originally going to say no Luchasaurus left behind on the store pegs, but man, I found him quite a lot this year. It would have been an expensive year if that was the case, but there was just no going back once they came out with this. I'm hoping we get more Luchasauruses in the future. We need him to change his gear up a little bit so we can get more figures. I think that's going to be the key for somebody like him, but man, give us more Luchasaurus figures. Give us toyetic figures like this. This is one of those figures where a little kid's walking down the toy aisle, maybe doesn't even know wrestling at all, but he sees this guy, he's going to pick them up, he's going to get interested in wrestling, maybe start buying the figures regularly. This is what you want in a toy. It just checks all my boxes, as you guys know. And then, of course, it was such a good figure. They did do a repaint as a Ringside Collectibles exclusive. 2-pack with Jungle Boy, of course. Hopefully we get Marco Stunt next year. It needs to happen. He's out, I think, injured right now. But we did get this pack with Jungle Boy, which is a really good exclusive figure as well. Just absolutely fabulous all around on Luchasaurus. I'm here for it all day, as you guys do know. Absolutely love it. So there it is. There's my number 1 AEW Jazzwares figures of 2021, with number 1 being Luchasaurus. I gotta say, 2022, I feel like is going to be the breakout year for the Jazzwares team and the AEW figure lines. Adding Sting, more Stings to the collection. Sting hitting retail is going to be huge. Getting guys like Christian, CM Punk, Bryan Danielson in figure form for the first time. It'll be interesting to see where some of these luminaries go. Are they going to be able to pull out some Tully Blanchards, Arn Anderson, old school and new school looks, Tony Schiavone, Jim Ross, announcer figures, plus a lot of younger stars getting their first figures ever, plus old favorites getting new decors, new outfits, things like that. Then you take on the mind of Jeremy Padawer and some of the zany things he does. And zany, I say that in a good way. Thinking outside the box, constant learnings, constant improvements. He has a track record from his Jazzwares days, or his Jax days, bringing to his Jazzwares days. We're going to see things like the Best Friends van out there. We're going to see a golf cart. We're going to see some zany stuff. We already know a pop-up stage is coming. It truly is a golden time in the action figure, especially wrestling figure community, with all the sub-lines, third-party lines, things like that. And then you got Jazzwares and Mattel going neck and neck. And with all of Jazzwares is doing, it's going to make, the Mattel guys step up their game. And when both companies compete, who wins? Us, the fans that buy. So I am more excited about wrestling lines than ever going into 2022. I think it's going to be a banner year, and I hope you guys are here for it. We're going to unbox everything on the channel, so you'll want to stay tuned for all that fun stuff. But next year is going to be a big one. I can't wait for a year from now when we're doing the 2022 top 10 AEW figures. as I think that list is going to be even tougher than 2020 or 2021. I would bet the house on it. Bet the house. So there it is. I got my best Cowboy shirt on because I am Cowboy Kyle. This was the best of AEW in 2021, and I'll see you guys all real soon.